you guys. My name is Laura, and I'm from the Back Porch Fiber Co. podcast. And
my name is Annie, and I'm from the Knits and Burls knitting podcast.
And we are here together in California. Annie is visiting from Houston, Texas. And we just thought we would introduce ourselves, let you guys know how we know each other, and then just talk about some of the projects that we're working on, because we have a lot of projects that we're both working on that we've influenced each other on. So you go first.
Okay, so Laura and I became friends when I was pregnant with my second son, which was about 5 years ago. We met at a knitting group that met at a coffee shop in California and hit it off with that, and then have just stayed friends throughout all of it and have grown close throughout the years. And we try to get together a couple times a year to visit. So,
yeah, that about sums it up. So my kids are quite a bit older than Annie's kids, but my kids love on her kids so much. Her daughter is infatuated with my daughter, loves her so much, and my son just plays with her boys. Like, it's really fun just to see the dynamic of all the kids hanging out together, and the older ones just loving on the younger ones, and then the younger ones just kind of like admiring the older ones. It's really fun.
Super fun. And it's nice for me to see the next stage of life.
Yeah.
To get some good wisdom from Laura all the time.
And we love having littles in the house again, so we're loving it. But yeah, so that's how we met, and we're going to start in on our first projects together, or what we've been doing since you've been here.
Yeah, let's what have we been doing since we've been here? We've been pretty busy.
We have been busy. But it's a different kind of busy than what I'm used to now.
Yeah.
But it's refreshing. It's really fun. So we've visited where we live in California. There are a lot of farms and a lot of agriculture here. Like, we went to a nursery today. We've gone to a like an actual working farm that has animals and gardens, and they really give back to the community and work with the schools and stuff to be like a self-sustaining farm in our area. So that was really fun because we got to see a lot of animals, and is very hands-on for the kids, but then also learn about the gardening and the farming aspect of it as well. Where else have we been?
We went to a farmer's market, right? A spring market.
Yeah.
And they had live music and a couple vendors, and like all local stuff, right?
Yeah, everything is local.
They even had yarn, which we'll get into later.
We'll just say that somebody broke her yarn diet.
Ooh, yikes.
But we justified it because it's a souvenir.
It's a souvenir.
So
Laura twisted my arm. She made me do it.
I did. I totally gave her like the justification for it. Like, it's a souvenir. It's different. Yeah, it doesn't count.
Go for it.
Let's see. Today we went to a nursery. So we live on like a third of an acre, and it's about the season that like all the weeds start popping up. You know, like the rain has come and gone, and then everything is warmed up, and now the weeds are going crazy. So Annie and her son Dawson, Dawson was just like, hey, I want to pull the weeds. And so they just start pulling weeds. And then today we decided to go to a nursery and grab some plants. We grabbed strawberries and some different herbs to plant. We're going to plant actually in this little planter right here behind us. We're going to plant a whole bunch of stuff. And then we have some vertical planters as well. So we thought it would be like a fun reward to plant the plants after the weeds. But the nursery was really really
fun.
Yeah, really cool.
Very cool. They had chickens running around and a petting zoo.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun to like go to a nursery like that is local in your area, because I think they grow most of their stuff there too, like from starters or seeds and stuff like that. So, and then we also went to another farm. It's a regenerative farming concept. I can never say that word. I don't know. Yeah, but they use the animals and their food waste, like everything to work together to be completely self-sustaining. So they have chickens and cows, ducks. They even and they sell duck eggs. They have like an on your honor system for their like for the little store that they have. But that was really neat, and it's like 15 minutes from my house, so it's just neat to see all the different things around here.
Don't have stuff like that in Houston. It's like concrete farms.
Yeah. So that's one of the things, like, I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then you should tell them too about what your son is doing this week for school.
Oh, yes. One of Dawson is my oldest, so he's 6. He's in kindergarten. And one of his assignments this week was we needed to keep track of all the birds that we saw for like 5 days in a row or something like that. So each day we've been going around and counting birds. But Laura's neighborhood has close to like 100 peacocks in it. So basically we just need to walk around the block and we find so many birds. And then she has 6 chickens. So then today we counted 172 birds because we went.
I didn't know you got up that high.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because we went to the farm that she was just telling you about, and they had ducks and chickens. So we lost track, but we capped it out at 172. And Dawson said, "I think I'm done counting for today." So, but it's been great.
Yeah, it's really been perfect, actually. And I'm going to tell you guys what we're drinking.
Yes.
So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that sometimes I post like a daily Dutch little coffee trip. I typically go to Dutch Brothers every day, grab a coffee, and sometimes I'll just talk about like what I'm knitting on in line or whatnot. Well, with gas prices the way they are, it's getting harder and harder to justify the daily part of that Dutch. So I still go like if we're out and about running errands, but I won't really typically anymore like go just to go. So we have come up with this drink, and it is basically like espresso with a little bit of vanilla over ice. And then on top, I made a cold foam with it. So it's heavy cream and maple syrup, and you just whip it together and then pour it on top. It's really good.
So good. She needs to like make a video to show you guys because it is
maybe
so.
I will.
You should, so I can refer to it.
Well, and we could like pop that in.
The espresso.
Oh yeah, I shake the espresso with the ice so it doesn't allow the ice to melt as much, I guess.
It's so good.
Yeah, so it gets cool faster.
Yeah.
But it's really fun, and this has been our go-to drink all week.
It's delicious.
Typically
so
our
good.
second coffee.
Yeah, our second coffee. It's very good.
Yeah.
Close knitting friends, especially when you don't live close by. It's nice to share your progress that way, like and so I think we said 3 projects right now that we are doing together. The one that we're working on right now, this is a new cast on for both of us this week. It's the half and half triangles wrap, I think is what it's called, by Pearl Soho. Sorry. This is obviously such a popular pattern. I'm sure if you've been a knitter for any length of time, you'll have heard of this pattern. And we're kind of a little late to the bandwagon, but we wanted to knit one. And yeah, so we're on the first skein of ours. And we're doing different colors, but they're pretty similar like themes. I'm doing, this is called Heirloom White, which if you're interested in this colorway, I need to double check on this, but I had been emailing the Pearl Soho customer service, and they mentioned that this colorway might be discontinuing at some point. So just a heads up on that. I feel like that's useful information.
Yeah, we'll put the colors that we're using down below because I don't remember all of mine, but you might have you have a better memory with that stuff than I do.
And then my second color is the pale mushroom, which this I feel like is a really popular colorway. And it's really pretty. It's just this light neutral, but it kind of has flecks of peach in it. And it's really, really pretty. So I saved this one for the second color because I'm really excited about this one. And I figured that would motivate me more to get through the first one.
So I'm starting with Twig Brown. You can see that. I know that the sunshine is blowing it out, but we just wanted, it's such a nice day. Like we've had beautiful weather this whole week that Annie's been here. So we thought it would be best just to podcast outside today. So this is Twig Brown. And then the other color that I'm doing, which is similar to Annie's first color here, is Wheat Flower. Yeah. So I didn't have a preference which one I started with. And so since she started with her light one, I decided to start with my dark one because I've almost picked up her basket so many times. Like, do you have your basket with you?
I have my basket.
Yeah, so we both have our baskets with our half and half wrap in there, and so many times I've almost picked up her basket to knit on it. So I'm glad that I chose a different color to start with.
Yeah, because whenever we put the two light ones next to each other, they looked really similar.
They did.
Yeah, it'd be hard to keep track of that.
Yeah, and Annie's daughter, her youngest daughter, will pick up my basket and give it to Annie to knit with. I'm like, no, that's mine. So, well.
I will say with this pattern, we did decide to change the beginning, right? We're slipping 2 stitches on the edge.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Instead of doing, in the original pattern, they just have you knit it instead of slipping any of the stitches, but it's creating this really nice edge. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. And I know there's tutorials on YouTube that walk you through that pretty specifically, even on this project. And I feel like it took us a minute to be like, okay, which one do we slip? Like on which row? But we figured it out pretty fast.
Yeah. And I started off actually slipping 3 rows because I thought, well, like it would be nicer to have maybe a thicker little band there. But I didn't like it. So after a couple rows, and I did not take it out. It's a wrap. Nobody will ever see it. I'm not that particular with it. If it was a sweater, I might have taken it out, but for something like this, no. And so I just started, instead of slipping 3, I just started slipping 2 like Annie did because I really liked how hers was turning out. So
yeah, it's really nice.
Sometimes knitting is trial and error, and that's totally fine.
Definitely. And we're both doing just the regular wrap and turns. I know some people have modified that as well.
Yep.
Kind of fun that you can change it up just slightly and get a different effect without making a huge change.
We're also both doing the larger or the bigger,
the biggest.
Or biggest. Is that what it's called?
It's the biggest. It's the 3 skeins of each color.
Yeah. So we've been having fun teasing each other about who's ahead and all
Laura
of that.
is definitely ahead.
Okay, but so we should tell them. So Annie knits. She's a thrower English style, and I knit continental style.
Yeah.
So I feel like whenever I look over at Annie, she's constantly knitting. Like if we're watching a movie together or something, and she's just going and going and going. And I may like knit each stitch a little bit faster, but I think I take more breaks than you do.
Yeah, but does that make it any better?
I don't know.
Basically, it takes her less time to go further than me. I don't know if that's any better.
Maybe I just get distracted.
Yeah, get distracted, I guess.
I don't know.
But it's fun. Just knitting styles is so fun to compare. It's really cool how you can you get the same stitch, but you do it so different.
Yep.
Very interesting.
I think it's fun to try to like. Sometimes I'll try Annie's style of knitting.
Yeah,
it doesn't really work very well for me, but I try sometimes just because it's fun.
It's
like a different movement with your hands.
Definitely. Yeah. I kind of wish I had learned the other way since it is faster, but maybe someday I'll
switch over.
Yeah, switch over.
I used to knit like that too, and I for when I switched over, I did an entire project. I committed an entire project.
That's a good idea.
And it was like a scarf or something, so something where it really didn't make that much of a difference. Like if it changed a little bit from beginning to end.
To do that.
It would be.
You get so much practice with it.
Yeah, it would be. But
So the second project we're doing that is the same. This one is so sad because she is so much further than I am. So we cast on, it's called the Color Block Bias Blanket by Pearl Soho, and it's another free pattern, right?
Yeah, yep.
And we're using the same yarn. Oh, look how sad. It's way down here. Oh, crazy. So we're using Yarn Bee Pigment Plus Fiber in the Goodness Grapefruit colorway. And so we each got 2 packs, and then I feel like you can see it on yours. So it's a gradient kind of. And then this was the end of the first pack, and then she's joined in with the second pack.
Yeah, so it'll mirror each other on the diagonal there. Yeah.
But mine is really sad and tiny. This is supposed to be a blanket for my daughter, who's 18 months old. I was telling Laura, I hope I haven't missed the window, because now she really likes this blanket that she sleeps with. It's just like a store-bought blanket that we got as a gift. So I hope I didn't miss the window. But if anything, I feel like I knit blankets for both my boys. And so I feel like she needs a hand knit blanket from me, at least to take on with her.
Yeah.
You know, she just gives it.
It's important.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like one of the biggest things why mine is so small, I'm still just haven't gotten in the groove with that yarn. It's really slippery. And so I've changed over to wooden needles, which has helped. But I think I just haven't really, you know, I haven't gotten used to it. And it hurts my hands after a while, so.
And I kind of like the slipperiness of it.
Yeah.
But Annie tends to lean towards more like rustic. Is that a good word?
Yeah.
Like more rustic yarns, and I like more softer, not necessarily synthetic, but just like more super washes and things like that.
Yeah.
And I do like this. It's a little rustic, but not bad.
Yeah. But I've got to get cracking on that baby blanket.
But you did take a long break because it was hurting your forearms,
it really
or
was hurting my hands. I think like mainly right here.
Okay.
And then it would kind of radiate down. So I haven't touched it for a while.
And let's be honest, right now, stage of life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you probably have less overall knitting time than I do. But like it is weird, just the different busy that
yeah, because we're both so busy. It's just different, like you said.
It's a different stage of life, but it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah.
All right, and then the last project, this is our newest one that we're working on. So this is how this one got started.
Oh no.
All right, so I went to Reno with a friend of mine, and we'd stayed there a couple nights, and then we drove into Reno and went to the Jimmy Bean's wool store. It's a phenomenal store, by the way. Literally, when I walked in, I saw this blanket on their couch, and I just knew, like, I need this blanket. I need to knit this blanket. And so I'm asking all these questions about it, like, okay, how do I get this yarn? Where is this pattern? And it is a knit along through Jimmy Bean's, and it's a monthly subscription, so you have to pay monthly. And they're like, oh, and it's full, you have to go on the wait list. I was not happy. I felt like a little kid, like bugging her mom, like, you know, mom wins dinner, mom wins dinner, mom wins. I felt like with this blanket, like, hey, well, you know, when will I know if I get in this yarn club? Like, like looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably sounded like a 5-year-old. But when you know what you want, like, I just wanted this blanket. So I waited impatiently to see if I would make it in this yarn club. And she did say that most people, like last year, they did the same thing, and everybody that was on the waiting list did get in. So I was super hopeful, but didn't want to get my hopes up too much. So, okay. Here's all my notes and everything. Let me see. Trying to find a picture without showing the pattern, because the pattern's not out yet. So, but it is the Strata Blanket by Marin Melchior. Okay, so here is, if you can see that. So basically what you do is you knit these 4 triangles, and then you'll seam them up at the end. So every month you get a worsted weight skein of yarn.
And that's not the colorway she chose. The one that's on
yes, that's true.
No, yours is different.
Mine is different, yeah. So they had 2 different colorways to choose from.
And she chose it's called Marin's Choice.
Marin's Choice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I got accepted onto the knit along, they sent me all 3 skeins, and then I just started from the beginning. So I'm a little bit behind because I should be knitting March, but I'm not as far behind as Annie, so.
Oh, so
all right, so I'll show you guys the January's color first. Let's see.
And this one had a name, but
medium gray.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that one was
medium
kind of
gray
boring.
was this color. I don't know if it's better to show you guys like up here, but you can see it like it fades a little bit. It's really dark here, and then it goes lighter. And I think it'll go dark again. I'm not totally sure. Kind of actually,
I know,
maybe not. I don't know. It might be lighter, but there is like a fade even within the yarn, and it's really soft.
Yeah,
it's super so soft. It's by Earth Yarns, URTH, and they're worsted weight. But so that's a medium gray, and then I got February, and this one is mushroom.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Mushroom.
And it looks like it'll do that again.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it has a fade thing kind of going on with that too. So that'll be color number 2 for February. And then this one, I think I do have the color name here. Let's see. Sage green is that.
It's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, it's kind of minty, kind of sage. I don't know, but it's really pretty. So these 3 will make up one of the triangles. And there is like some fading between the colors as well. I don't know if this color will go into the next triangle to fade or not, but the overall pattern is the same. And then you'll seam all 4 triangles together at the end. And when I was reading the pattern notes, it said that they did it that way for, I mean, one, it's probably the construction of it, but then also so that you're not ever working on this ginormous blanket at one time.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I do too. But and then there's tassels on it too, which I don't think that the picture really showed. It is a beautiful blanket. I'm so excited. Like, and I just want to knit it all the time, but then I also need to stay ahead of Annie on this.
Oh, please.
Half and half triangle, so. My yarn like totally went way over there,
whoa.
but.
So Laura was a terrible influence, or really our other friend probably was worse than you.
Probably.
Because we were knitting with her.
I cannot get it. That's okay.
And we were all talking about this blanket, and then she had the idea, oh, I wonder if they have more openings. So we went online, and sure enough they did. And Laura broke my yarn diet again, and I have subsequently signed up for an annual yarn club. So
that was me. Okay,
that was all her.
But who influenced us to do the half and half?
That's true.
Annie. Who influenced us for the baby blanket?
That's true.
Annie.
That's true.
So I still have one more.
Yeah, it's just payback.
Payback for, I need one more. I need to pay you back one more project.
Oh man, let's wait till next year.
Okay, next year.
Oh no, you did. Yeah, you influenced me on this one. You just didn't get it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Okay, we're even. Okay,
That's
you want to tell them about that one?
Yeah. So Laura influenced me again. We kind of alluded to this earlier. At one of the farms, the spring market that we went to, they had local wool or local yarn, right?
Yeah.
They had alpaca and Jacob's fleece.
Yeah, Meridian Jacobs, I think.
Which Laura was really kind and gifted me that for my birthday this year. And I've shown that in past podcasts before. But then on the same store, they had skeins of alpaca. So I believe this is, it's 100% alpaca yarn. And it's a sport weight. So as a little souvenir, I got some of this. I ended up getting 5 skeins. I got all of them,
All
right?
of them, yeah.
Yeah, I sold her out of that colorway. And I think I'm going to knit the Hollows shawl by Melody Hoffman. I've been wanting to knit that
That's
shawl
so
for
perfect.
so long. Yeah, and I feel like this would be great because I've heard alpaca is really drapey and doesn't really have much memory. So I figured a shawl would be perfect for it.
Yep.
And now I can remember our trip.
I love that. Do you guys do that? Do you guys, when you go somewhere, like I'm not a huge souvenir person, but if I go to a local yarn store, I will definitely try to find something local that was dyed around there, or a notion that was somewhat local or unique to that store. That'll be like my souvenir. Let us know in the comments if anybody else does that too.
Yeah, I love that. And then it's like, it adds so much, you know, it adds to your craft, and you get a finished object out of it whenever you complete it, and you can always remember it. I feel like you're good about, you'll get socks, right?
Yeah.
Sock skeins.
Yep, typically.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Some fingering weight for socks is what I do. But.
So I came here and blew all of my yarn diet dreams. Now I have to go home and restart, but it was worth it. And I'm really looking forward to doing that blanket club because, you know, it's like, it'll be like a year-long knit along with California friends.
Yep.
So
and
that'll be really fun.
Like Annie said too, another one of our friends is doing the same blanket. So it is fun for the three of us to knit along, because the three of us used to be in knit group together. And we've gotten together with her a few times too over this trip and gotten to knit together with some of the people in our old knit group. That was a lot of fun. It was
a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a great trip.
Yeah. All right, so something else that, and we'll show footage of it here in a minute, but something else that we have done while Annie is visiting is dyed some yarn. So we've been looking at inspiration photos, and we'll put all that stuff up here. But we thought it would be fun to dye a mini skein set, the two of us working on it together. So there will be limited quantities in the shop, but yeah, we'll get that in there soon as that's all put together and done. But when Annie used to live here, we would dye yarn together.
Yes,
like really before I started selling it, we were just playing around, like
kind of figuring it out. And,
dyeing yarn is its own craft, really.
Definitely.
I mean, it goes well with knitting, but really it is its own craft. So lots of fun dyeing that yarn together, and we'll put footage in of us doing that as well.
Yeah, so super fun.
Yeah, and like I said, there will be a limited quantity, but we've written down everything, so if there's more demand, I can get some more together. It just won't be the two of us dyeing it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so
miss my special touch.
That's right. It won't be the same. Yeah, so Annie goes home tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's always bittersweet because, like, I'm sure you're ready to go home to your husband and like get back in your routine. But then at the same time, it's like I know I won't see her for a while, and we are hoping to get together again.
Yes, soon.
Maybe like at a midway point for like a knitting weekend, because like it's been amazing, like having the kids here, but you're not just, you kind of have like in your head like, oh, we're gonna just sit and knit all day. Like,
no, definitely not
at all.
Definitely not.
But then like I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love your kids. I love that they're here and in my house for the week. It's been a lot of fun. So
but it would be nice to get a knitting weekend.
Yes. Well, and then like if there's smaller visits too, and kind of in the middle, then maybe we can do that more often, which will be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful trip.
Yeah. I agree, for sure. But, well, we're going to sign off and go see what the kids are up to.
Yep. It's a good question. It's been too quiet.
It has been a little bit quiet. So, yeah, you guys, we'll see you guys next time. Hope you've enjoyed this time together, and happy knitting.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, you guys.